So I'm at 226 Pine Brook, and I noticed that the driveway's got some cracks. Right, some of the Belgian blocks are turned over. I noticed a couple of sprinkler heads. The downspouts, like this one, look like they discharge into the ground, but they come to daylight. That's a little bit close to the property line, so I'm sure it'd be nicer if you could point it down towards the street for your neighbors. You can see over here the damage to the driveway. You have the railing over here is loose, and you can see your post light over here. These wires are supposed to be inside a conduit like this, and you can see that they go into the ground, right, and extend down over here. And the problem with not putting that in a conduit is if you hit it with a weed whacker or a lawnmower or something like that, you can damage the insulation and it can electrify the yard. So that's something that should be taken care of. I did note that there's no light. The lights aren't working here or up over by the front porch. So I'm just gonna keep filming. I'm gonna walk you around. So this railing over here also is loose, right? And you can see that it's pretty rusted. So that's something that'll have to be taken care of. And then over here, this was the hole that you were concerned about. This is just a fresh air vent for the plumbing. I'll show you that when I get into the inside where it comes out. You know, this is a gas line over on this side, and over here is the gas shutoff right over here. This, just so you know, is a brick veneer. It's not a solid brick house. I don't know if it's masonry behind it or wood framing. We'll get to that as we get into the inspection later. Over here you can see the downspout is disconnected over here, so that's something you're going to want to take care of. The retaining wall looks like it's in pretty good shape, but they have done some work to it recently, so you know, I would just continue to maintain it. All right, they have a couple of railroad ties over here, which if I were to flip them, you would see that they're rotting out a little bit. You know, so you could replace these, or you could just remove them if you prefer. The house used to have a tree right over here, and you can see it's just a big stump. It's always recommended to remove the stumps, because otherwise you're going to have all this wood rotting over here, which is going to invite some wood destroying insects like termites or carpenter ants. So I would definitely recommend removing it. Over here is the AC condenser. Right, it looks like it's using the newer refrigerant gas. The insulation on the refrigerant line looks like it's in pretty good shape. I do know the AC is working, even though it's not on right now. It's a carrier. I did take a picture of the serial number. I'll decode it and let you know what the age of it is in the report. I see quite a few areas where they've used expansion foam to try to close up and seal holes around the exterior. That would just imply that they did have mice at one time. They have this little shed thing built over here, and you can see the wood is all rotted out. So I would probably just break this down and get this away from here. I mean, this is all concrete on the side, so if you really want to keep it, you could rebuild it with some more wood. Generally speaking, you know, all these vines and trees and shrubs shouldn't be touching the roof lines nor the siding. So I would definitely recommend trimming back whatever needs to be trimmed back. The chimney looks like it could use some repointing. On this section you have two chimneys. On this chimney from the roof line up looks like it needs repointing. I'm gonna go up on the roof and I'll take a separate video for that. But yeah, that could definitely use some repointing. Right? Looks like there was a little bit of rot around the door frame. Again, they just used some spray foam. Right, over here, you have this little four-season room over here. You know, they have what's referred to as jalousie windows, right? And these open and close like an awning style. And you can see all the leaves over here and debris. You're gonna wanna clean these out. You can see the glass is broken on the inside storm. So that's something that should be repaired. These stones over here, they're all loose and you've got spaces. So I would probably, you know, fix this up over here. So you have an outlet up over here. It's not ground fault circuit protected. Right now there's no power to it. The sunroom actually has a gutter installed on it, and you can see the gutter is damaged, right, and clogged. So that's something you're going to want to improve. And then over here you have some sagging in the roof over here. So, you know, whenever you redo the roof, you know, that should be addressed. And then this is the second chimney over here, and you can see that it's been pointed on the top part. The part from the bottom of the upper roof down needs repointing. Over here they put gravel up over the siding. We prefer not to have anything covering the siding when it comes to grading and drainage. That's going to invite moisture and humidity to the sill plate, which is then going to invite termites or carpenter ants. And I noticed in a couple areas already that you can see that there's a lot of carpenter ant activity. Right, you can see the colony going back and forth over here. Those are the workers. They're busy destroying some wood. So yeah, I would uncover this and, you know, see if there's any damage behind here. The window frame, you know, looks like it could use some caulking, some paint, maybe recapping. You know, this downspout goes into the old pipe. That should lead down to the street. And then again over here you can see more carpenter ant activity. You know, they tend to accumulate right around where the downspouts are because it's going to provide them water, a water source. And water is very important to carpenter ants. They need moisture. And then over on this corner of the house, you can see that the cement has been parged, but it's been built out and it's damaged. And so you could see that it's come apart on some of the lower areas, right? And really come apart in that back area. And again, back on this side of the house, you can see all the carpenter ant activity over here. So, even more important, you've got dirt over here that's up over the siding. This is a big no-no. You definitely want to get this dirt out simultaneously when you do the carpenter ant treatment. You know, you can see this is an area where they're coming and going. So they're going from around this area over here straight around to the back side of the house. And then this is the garage window. These old windows use glazing, and you can see that the glazing is coming off. So this is something that's going to need to be reglazed. They would just scrape out all this putty over here and take some new putty with a putty knife and just reglaze everything and repaint it. And then this is your overhead electrical line, right? You can see the service loop comes up from overhead, goes through the trees over to the telephone pole on the street. Over here you can see vines have extended, growing from here. They've extended up over the roof line. That's no good. And you've got multiple layers of roof that I could see over here before I even get up there, which indicate that it's going to have to be stripped when it's re-roofed, and that's going to obviously add some more expense to the job. And then this downspout over here is disconnected. So, and that's the outside. Okay, the next one will be the roof. I'm gonna go up there now.